Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reselling Rhythms. If you're new to my channel, my name is Adam, and our show is called Reselling Rhythms. Every Wednesday, I attempt to schedule another reseller, have them on my channel and discuss their expertise in the various fields and different platforms they sell on, what type of products they sell, and try to educate, myself and as well as my viewers. And it's become very rewarding, and a lot of my viewers have learned a lot. So if you're new to the channel and you're getting value out of this, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. So I'm going to wait for a couple minutes to let the few people fill in. The notifications are just going out, and I always have my handy dandy phone here to see when the notification goes out. So let's see, it did go out. So we're starting to fill up a little bit. So it usually takes just a few minutes. So what I'll do is in about a minute or two, we'll get started. Today, my guest is Megan Mawhinney. Megan, I'll tell you about herself, but basically she's a super mom. Her husband's in the military, which she'll explain to you. She has two young boys, and basically she's a stay-at-home mom and a full-time reseller. And she sells clothing, and she's just very successful with it. So I haven't had a lot of clothing sellers on before. I wanted to bring Megan on and have her discuss that. So I'll just say hello to Miss Rosie's Closet, who is Miss Crystal. Thank you, Crystal. It's always a pleasure to see you. You know what? Let me. I don't think I ever made you a moderator. Let me. Can I do that from here? No, I can't. Okay, I have my other chat open. Let me do that. I should have done that last week, and I did not do that. So let me do that now, in case we have issues. All right, you are crowned, young lady. You are now a moderator. All right. Hello, Selling Thrift. How are you? So, like I said, a few more people will fill in and we'll get started. And again, I was introducing Megan. So Megan will tell us about herself. And then we're going to be discussing reselling. Megan basically sells on eBay, which she'll explain to you, and she also sells on Poshmark. So we'll get into that, and why she's a reseller, why she sells on the various platforms, and have Megan share her expertise as far as sourcing. She has any bolos or any information that'll make us better resellers. So let me go over to Miss Megan, and we'll do this. And there's Miss Megan. And why don't you introduce yourself, Megan? Let me make you full screen, because you said you didn't mind that.
Nope, we can do a close-up.
Okay, let's do this. And there you are.
Well, hello, you guys. Thank you so much for having me, Adam, on your channel. My name is Megan, and I am a full-time reseller on eBay, a little bit on Poshmark, but I would say 99% of my business is eBay. I am 28. Me and my husband just moved here to the Texas area in June of 2019. We have two little kids. Prior to that, we were in the Seattle, Washington area for about 3 years. And then prior to that, we were in Fairbanks, Alaska, which is my hometown and where I actually met my husband. So as far as reselling goes, I have been selling on eBay since I was 12 years old. As a little kid on my parents' account, I would find things around the house to sell to make a little bit of money. However, I did not go full-time on eBay as a reseller until about 2.5 years ago. I used to work in banking, and when I had my oldest son, Grayson, we could not find a daycare that could accommodate the banking hours. So I ended up looking online for different ways I could make money, and this kind of just clicked. I think Casey Paris, Rockstar Flipper, was the first person that I watched on YouTube that kind of got me thinking, like, maybe this is something that I could do full time to make an income. So while I was on maternity leave, I actually challenged myself to see if I could make $1,000 in a month. And if I could do that, I figured I would try to convince my husband to see about just staying home with my older son and doing eBay full time. So I was kind of doing a trial run of this before I actually dove in and quit my job. So I did that for, I want to say 2 months. And then I think the first month full time, I made maybe $700. And the next month I made $1,000. So I put in my 2 weeks at work and I left to do eBay full time. And that's what I've been doing ever since. I think that's like the Cliff Notes of the last 2.5 years of my life.
Okay, let me get back on the screen here. So again, Megan said she does 99% eBay. Have you tried the other platforms? Like I said, I know you do Poshmark, but you told me before that you just sell shoes on Poshmark, correct?
Yeah, I have a couple shoes on Poshmark. The reason I haven't put more on there is just the time that takes to cross post. I know there are those like automated browser extensions you can use to cross
Right.
post, but that still does take some time. So as of right now, I've got maybe 100 pairs of shoes on Poshmark. And I chose shoes because they have that flat rate shipping. So it's easy to just throw the shoes in a box and ship it off, which ends up being cheaper than on eBay where I have to either, pay by weight or put it in a flat rate box. So for those reasons, I chose to just stick shoes on there for now, and then everything else is eBay.
Okay, well that's good information. I knew they had flat rate, and I know they just recently raise their shipping on Poshmark. I heard.
I think they did, and it's a little over $7. I don't know the exact amount, but I think anything under 5 pounds, you can just stick it in whatever packaging you want. You stick on the label, it's good to go. So that's great for those bulkier items where
Sure.
eBay you got to pay by weight or a flat rate. It just comes out to be a little bit cheaper.
Okay, so if you were to sell shoes on Poshmark, ballpark, it's what, $8, $9 to ship shoes?
Like on eBay.
Oh, it's $7.75. No, I meant on Poshmark.
Oh,
So you sell your
Poshmark,
shoes on
yeah.
Poshmark.
So yeah, $7.75 now, I guess.
Okay.
So and Thrift said 7.11, but maybe it is 7.75. I know they just increased it, because USPS rates went up again.
Right, that's true. Well, nothing goes down. We know that.
Nope, it's never going down. It's only going to continue to go up.
Okay, so and you have over 1,000 items in your store, correct?
I've got 3,290.
3,290.
Yes, sir. I've
I
been
must have been half asleep when I pulled up your store.
It was down when we first moved here. I sold off a lot of inventory, so I was down to about 2,700. So it's taken me several months to get back up. I used to have 4,000 when we were in Washington, but while we were in preparation for moving, I sold off a bunch of stuff, and I was kind of slacking on listing because we were, packing everything up.
Right, you didn't have to move it with you, right?
Well, yeah, and I didn't want to take a lot of stuff, but we ended up still going over our weight limit with all of my inventory and shelves and everything. But I tried.
So you have over 3,000 items. God bless you.
Yeah,
So you must have a very detailed inventory system.
I do. I don't know if you guys have seen my Instagram or not, but I always post pictures on there. I've got all of these racks and these long, narrow cardboard boxes, and all the items sit in there in a row in order with little inventory cards and inventory numbers on every single item. But that's the only way you can do it when you've got that many items, or else you're going to spend hours trying to find stuff.
I would say that amount of inventory is insane. I mean, the only person I know that has more inventory than that is Jamie Pace, and Jamie was in the chat. I think he just popped to say hello.
No one can beat Jamie. Jamie has a lot.
He certainly does. I don't know when he sleeps, but and then with 3 toddlers, well, no, 2 toddlers, and then a younger son. So I don't know how he gets things done, but he does.
Jamie's super dad.
Yes, he is. So okay, so as far as like I said, you've been doing it when you were like 12 years old. What did you? I know like Casey used to do Magic the Gathering cards, and until he got involved in it. What were you selling when you were 12 years old?
So my family, I wouldn't call them hoarders, but they do have a lot of stuff. And it seemed like every time my family would like go to the dump to drop off garbage, they'd always come back with tons of other things, and they just sit around at the house. So I would just find things around the house. I remember selling like a new pair of shoes in a box that like a family friend had given us, but they weren't any one size, and they were just like sitting on a shelf. So anything that I could find that no one was using, I would get my little digital camera out and take pictures, and then I'd plug in the cord to the computer to transfer the pictures over. I would type up a little listing. And I would do auctions, and then people would send us checks and money orders. My mom would take me to the post office and get them all sent off. So just little things around the house.
Yeah, that's neat. So you were doing this quite, because when they were sending checks, that's back what, in like the 80s, early 80s?
In the 80s? No. Well, I was gonna say late 90s, but I think it was more
really
early 2000s.
Oh, they were still taking checks back in early 2000?
Yeah, because I was like 12, and I was born in 91.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, early 2000s.
For like 2000, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were taking checks back then, because back in 2000, I mean, checks were kind of on the way out.
Yeah, but you know, back then, like you could do PayPal, or you could do like checks and money orders. And I
Oh,
didn't
they
have
did
a
have PayPal back then. Okay.
yeah, we didn't. I'm pretty sure they did. We didn't have a PayPal account, so I just checked the option for checks and money orders. And it's
Okay.
funny because, you know, working in banking for so long, I know how many checks bounce and people write bad checks. None of the checks that we got ever bounced. My mom would take a whole little stack of checks to the bank, like
Right.
10 at a time, you know, because she'd save them up for a few weeks. So we take them in and they never bounce, which just baffles me now, because now anyone who writes a bad check, you know, it's just constant, you know, NSF fees and people writing bad checks for everything, little purchases, big purchases. I don't know what kind of honor system people were on back then, but for some reason it always worked.
Times they are changing, as they say. I guess a lot of people have money problems these days.
Oh yeah.
So as far as sourcing, let's get into sourcing a little bit. And again, I don't want you to give me your honey what you know, if you have honey holes, I don't want you to release that. Or you just said in the Texas area, so we don't even know where you are. So that's fine. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your sourcing and where do you typically source? You know, yard sales, thrift stores, etc. And if you get into a little bit about how you source, if you have any particular like system that you, I mean, you're a full-time parent and wife, and you run a full-time reselling business, so you must have some kind of system in place, I'm assuming.
Yes. So over the years, I've kind of developed my own like way of going out and sourcing, because it does take a lot of time. Right now, where we live in,
Cha-ching!
I know you guys heard that, a little cha-ching. I go once, maybe twice a week. I drive about an hour and I try to hit 2 or 3 different stores. I'll stay for maybe an hour or so at each store, depending on if I have my youngest son with me. If he's with me, I have to be quick because he's not going to stay happy. But I try to hit a couple stores. Ideally, I would like to pick up at least 200 items a week. Recently, that has not been happening, so I have been going out sourcing more. So I try to get 200 items, I bring them all home, and then I spend the rest of the week working from home, photographing and listing. I don't do any yard sales or like Facebook Marketplace. It is just from thrift stores. And that's what I also did in Washington as well. Just a couple thrift stores once a week, get as much as I can, and then go home and spend the rest of the week working.
So you were sourcing 200 items, just hitting 2 thrift stores a week?
Yes. So here in Texas, I'm struggling a little bit with that because I have to drive farther and the stores don't seem to have as much in my price range. In Washington, the thrift stores that I would go to did 99-cent tags once a week, every week. So I could count on that. But the thrift stores here, one of the big stores that I go to stopped doing that. And now I have to go online every morning and check and see what their daily sale is. And they're only doing 99-cent tags maybe once every 2 weeks. Sometimes on a good week, they'll do it like once a week, but it's definitely harder. And I have to go to more places. So in Washington, it was easier. I could go to 3 stores, get all my 99-cent items. I was getting like 300 to 400 items a week sometimes.
And 99 cents an item.
Yeah,
Wow.
99 cents an item. But here it's definitely harder. So, you know, I'm struggling to do like 150 to 175.
Now, do you have any of like the Goodwill outlets, the bins, or just I know Savers does some sales by the pound. Do you have any of that?
There are some Goodwill outlets here. However, I have not gone to them, partly because I've been to some Goodwill outlets before in Washington and I was not impressed. It's a lot of junk and trash and stuff that has stains and holes that didn't sell in their retail stores. So then it gets like, you know, boxed up and they throw it over at the bins. Also, I do sell mostly jeans, and by the pound, these stores typically charge like $1.50 a pound. So it's much cheaper for me to just go buy it in the store if I can get it for, you know, $1 or $2.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I average weigh jeans. I figured they're about 1.25 pounds, 1.5 pounds on average.
Yeah.
Men's obviously weigh a little bit more than women's.
They could be over 2 pounds. So yeah, I try to stick to the regular stores. Also, with having my little son, I don't have time to dig for hours and try to find good items out.
Well, I was just thinking about that after I brought up the bins. I'm thinking, okay, well, if you have the 2 children, it's like, you know, must be really difficult to source at the bins.
Absolutely, yeah. And the location of where the bins are here in Texas are in kind of not so nice areas. So there's a lot of like drug use and stuff around. One of my friends went to one of these bins a couple weeks ago, and she said it was pretty bad. She just felt really unsafe. So I have not gone.
Okay. Now, I saw. Do you mind if I pull up your store? Can we
Yeah,
do that?
absolutely. Go
Okay,
ahead.
let's do that.
Position myself with the camera here, so I'm in the middle.
Okay. Well, they'll move you to the side. They'll move you to the left. It's I'm still getting used to the stream. I did Hangouts for so long. It's crazy, but let's do this. And now everybody's pretty much is using StreamYards.
Yeah,
StreamYard.
the last couple live shows I've been on, everyone's doing StreamYard. Didn't they get rid of the Hangouts? Or
Yes, they did. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, this guy's and again, Megan's store is listed in the description below. Also her Instagram, and she's active on Instagram. So Megan's store is Shop the Sandcastle, and this is her store. And why did I think you only? Oh, you know what? I was looking at your feedback. That's why I thought you had. Here it is, 3,293 listings, and you have 1,600 feedback. That's incredible. Wow. Okay, so you have some shoes, I guess, in your store.
Yeah, those are cross posted to Poshmark, so they're on both.
Okay. Now, do you what's my question for you? As far as the jeans, again, you have a lot of interesting brands of jeans. Are these jeans that you've picked up in Washington? Because I don't recognize a lot of these. I mean, obviously I recognize Levi's.
You know, the funny thing is, now that I've been thrifting here a lot, I'm finding I still source a lot of the same stuff. So I wouldn't say that most of these items are like specific to the Pacific Northwest.
Right.
There are some brands here that I find more of as opposed to in Washington.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, a lot of the brands are about the same.
Okay.
Which is weird because now I'm in the South and I was, way up north.
Right. I mean, I occasionally see cut from the cloth. I rarely see that. I've never even heard of Earl jeans.
Earl jeans is kind of, you find that one a lot at like TJ Maxx.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a high-end brand, but I think they're nice. They sell good for me.
And you're running a sale now, like it's a Valentine's Day sale?
Well, I run sales all the time. I do 3 different ones a week. So my store is pretty much always on some type of sale.
Okay.
I don't run just a continuous one because I like to create that that kind of like that hype that, hey, this sale is ending in, 12 or 48 hours. So I'll do one sale Monday morning through Wednesday morning. And then I do one from like Wednesday afternoon through Friday morning. And then I run another one a long weekend from Friday afternoon through Monday morning.
Okay. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? I thought I silenced my phone, but of course my phone wrong.
Oh, no, you're fine. I do 3 sales a week. So one Monday morning through Wednesday morning. And then I run another one Wednesday afternoon through Friday morning. And then a long weekend sale Friday afternoon through Monday morning.
Okay.
So there's always a sale going on. There's only like a couple hours during the week where something's not on sale.
And it looks like your average price is what about? Well, you include free shipping. Have you? I'm sure you've experimented with free shipping and not doing free shipping.
Yeah, and I think for me, free shipping is better because it gives you that little badge on the listing, and then people see. And it's kind of a mental thing. Is it? It could be the same price. It could be $25 with $5 shipping or $30 with free shipping. Like, which one looks better?
Right.
So for me, I think free shipping just looks better. You get the badge. People like it.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, you're selling your jeans typically for about $20 ish plus shipping. I mean, if I factor out the shipping price.
My average sale price is about $22.
Okay.
And then after, my shipping and fees, my profit right now, I think is like $13 or $14 on average per item. But my goal now is to be at $12 or more profit on every item. It used to be 10, but I've kind of increased that a little bit because, time is money and I don't have all the time in the world to source and photograph and list these items.
Right. Now, not your daughter's jeans. I know that's a good item. I rarely find them, and I do well every time I get them, and they're typically stretch. And
I don't pick those up all the time anymore because it seems like a lot of them are really stretched out on the thighs.
Right, the thighs and the crotch area, I guess.
Yeah. So, And some of the older styles don't do as well, but for $1,
Oh, really? Some of the older styles don't do well. Okay.
Yeah, it really depends on the style for me. I used to pick them up all the time, but now I'm getting a little more selective. Also because I'm trying to get my average sale price up
Right.
to make up for that shipping increase this year.
Okay. So again, that's probably, yeah. So you're only asking about 13, 14 plus shipping on these. Okay. Maryland. I haven't heard of the Maryland. Okay.
That's a common one, the Maryland straight leg.
Okay. And where did you get this? I noticed this earlier when I was looking at your store. This,
Oh, I made that.
you made that. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't like make the individual pictures.
Right.
I found these 2 pictures and I put this little statement in there because
Right.
I wanted something positive to kind of tell people to please check your measurements before you purchase.
Sure.
Obviously, I still get returns, but I feel like this might help if there's like a picture saying this, and then there's measurements in the description as well to say, hey, you may not fit these jeans. Please measure.
Right. What was the other issue I had with selling jeans too? Back then when it was like $750 or whatever it was to ship it, and then if you have to return, it's another $750. And of course, it's never the person's fault that it's always like you mismeasured. No, I didn't mismeasure. Yeah, you did. or
Yeah.
the color looks different than in your picture. So I put a disclaimer now, but I don't think that really holds water with eBay anyway.
No, it doesn't. But I feel like if this helps maybe like 1 or 2 people a month, then that's good for me. And I list with templates. So this is already in there. It's not an extra step for me to go and upload this photo. I already have that.
Okay. So yeah, let's take a look at your template here. Okay. Well, that's eBay's there. And this is your template down here.
Yeah. So all of that, most of that's already filled in. When I make a listing and I just go in and change out the brand, the fabric contents, and the measurements, and if there's any condition notes at the bottom, I'll change that around.
Okay. I didn't even know you could do red ink on the page. I didn't realize you could do that. I guess it must be in the settings somewhere, right?
Oh, the color, the
Yeah.
red. Yeah, and I made that red because I wanted someone to know about the condition notes. There was something I wanted to point out, and I feel like if I make it a different color, then maybe it will stand out a little more.
I should look into doing that. That's a great idea.
But I only do it a different color if there's like a flaw that I'm trying.
A flaw. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, this is kind of what I put into. All measurements are approximate to ensure a good fit. It's recommended you compare these measurements with a similar garment that you own. So yeah, absolutely.
I try to make it nice, even though it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Exactly. Let me get back to StreamYard here. Yes. Hello. Let me say hello to a few people that joined us. My friend, Miss Tiffany, is here. Welcome, Miss Tiffany. Eat, Sleep, Amazon. Mary Beth is here. I guess that's Bill, I'm assuming, with Noman Frog. That's here. Thanks, Bill. Jennifer is here. So you know the Noman Frog, obviously, right?
Oh, I do. Yeah, we message all the time talking about jeans.
Bill actually called me over the weekend and we were discussing jeans. So BW Blended Whiskey is here. Good to see you, my friend. And just make sure I didn't miss anybody. I guess that is about it. Okay. Appreciate that, guys. I appreciate you all showing up, and it's good to see you, Bill. Eventually, I'm going to have Bill on, by the way. He and I discussed it, and I think Dave's a little camera shy, but Bill said he'd be happy to come on.
Very cool.
Probably in March sometime.
You get used to it after a little bit. Like after you're on camera a couple times, it kind of, I don't know. You forget the camera's all there and you feel like you're just having a conversation with someone. Crystal
says, thank you for allowing us to share your store. And by the way, Crystal, I asked Megan before, I said, you're all right going full screen? She said, I have no problem with that. So I asked her, and I asked if I could share her store. So I am learning. I'm a little student-eyed, but it gets gross on me eventually. I pick these things up. So I asked Megan before we started if it was right to share her store and to put her on full screen. So Bill says you're top notch. Thanking you. You're top notch.
Oh, thank you. You're too
all right.
good.
Okay, so let me review my notes a little bit. Again, with the jeans, do you do? I mean, again, I'm sure you know off the top of your head as far as jeans. Do you typically source different styles, large sizes? Do you have any kind of like a pattern that you look for? I mean, how do you, when you source jeans, or is it just all from memory?
Most of it's from memory, but there are some specific things that I look for. So obviously anything plus size in really good condition,
Mhm.
those are always going to sell. The average women's pant size nowadays is a 16. So obviously
Was
those
it really? Okay.
yeah, the really small sizes don't sell as well.
I
And
think
really
that's
huge sizes don't sell either because there's not a lot of people that need like super like 4 or 5XL clothing.
right.
So if it's around a 16, 18, 20, those are kind of like my sweet spot for jeans. So even if it's a low end brand, if it's in good condition, I'll pick that up, especially if it's $1. Um, Obviously, anything that's a high end brand, whether it's a small size or a big size, things that have a nice print or pattern like the floral embroidery or the raw frayed hem, that's a pretty trendy style.
Was it
Things
okay?
like that, I'll pick up those as well. So it's kind of a combination. And then plus memory as well, like, okay, I already have 7 pairs of those listed and no one's buying them. Should I really pick this up? Or maybe, I pick up an item and it's something that I've sold repeatedly in the past and it's sold for a good price. I know to pick that up. So a lot of it is memory, but I'm also looking for good sizes, really good condition, a good brand, something fun or unique about the item that will make mine stand out from someone else's.
Well, again, I want to discuss with you offline. We don't have to do it today, and we can do it another time. But what I'm going to do is have you review the things in my store. And I think my issue is mainly my sizes. I think my sizes are way too small.
Oh,
When I first got into business, I mean, I didn't know anything about women's styles or women's jeans. It said I can get them for 99 cents, and I'm just going to grab all these. Or if there's no flaws or anything, I'll pick them up. Hey,
yeah.
Vicky, thanks for joining us.
For a long time, and now I'm kind of stuck with a lot of these really small, like basic bread and butter jeans.
That's
And
what I have. I mean, I had like name brands like Tommy Hilfiger and American Eagle, and I think they're just too small sizes.
yeah, I mean, when you look around at people, like how many people do you see that are that small? Same thing with people that
Well,
are.
I was again. I'm not Italian, but I'm using that Italian phrase. Do not mean stupid. I just
Learn. You paid $1 for it; it will sell eventually.
yes. Well, like I said, I did want to talk to you offline, and we'll discuss that. And I'm gonna do a little. I keep telling people I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make a little spreadsheet with my death piles too to go through that because I'm not gonna list things that are not worth listing. Hey, Craig, thanks for joining us. Michelle, thank you. My super mod and trivia expert, Michelle, is in the house. So, Megan, if you ever need a phone a friend, you want to definitely contact Michelle Lathan. She's super knowledgeable with trivia.
I'm not good at trivia at all, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, she's great. So, okay, let's get into. Okay, so you said you source pretty much only from thrift stores.
Yeah, a little bit online. I do a little bit of online arbitrage from the Real and ThreadUp. Occasionally from regular stores if they're doing like a big clearance sale, but most of the time I'm at a thrift store actually pulling items.
Oh, Miss Donatella is here.
Hi Donna, how are you?
Have you tried the ThreadUp boxes, by the way?
Funny you say that. I
Okay.
just tried one last week, and it was not good.
No, okay.
So there was a promotional code for like 15% off, which is why I decided to try it because
Right.
it ended up being like $46 for like a 40-pound box. And I figured, okay, if jeans weigh a little over a pound, I'll probably get about 30 items. That's less than $2 a pair.
Right.
So I did a live unboxing and it was really disappointing. Over half the items were like really bad stains, like ripped off belt loops, holes, the stretching, on the thighs, really bad brand. So half of them were complete trash, like not going to sell it at all. Out of the whole box, I think I got maybe 5 items that were like decent things that I would actually pick up in a thrift store. But because of all the waste, my average cost of goods is like way up.
Wow.
So I got a pair of 7 For All Mankind jeans. Those actually already sold. They went for like $28. I got a St. John jacket, which I haven't listed yet. And then like 3 other like okay items, but it was pretty disappointing. It was junk that I would completely overlook at a thrift store, even if it was free. It was terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, Rosie says ThreadUp is hit and miss.
And
And
then
I've seen some great unboxing videos and people posting in Facebook groups of them finding, Madewell and Mother Jeans, like great items.
oh yeah, I never find Madewell. I never find them. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the rest
Like
of
the Holy
it,
Grail if I found that around here.
yeah. One of the girls in a Facebook group in Stars Flippin' Hippo group, she
Mm-hmm.
got a box of pant legs. Like someone cut off the pant legs
Pant
of
legs?
jeans. Yes, just the pant leg.
Oh,
What are
they
you
use
gonna do
that?
with that? But it is called a DIY denim box. So what do you
Oh,
expect?
yeah, we're supposed to make your own pants, put them together, assemble them.
Yeah, so not good, but it is kind of fun to get this mystery box in the mail.
Sure,
So
sure.
if they do more sales, I may pick up another one just for a live unboxing. It's fun, but don't have high expectations. Most of it is garbage.
Really? Okay, well, that's good to know. Like I said, like what Crystal said, it's hit or miss. My friend Beth has done a few unboxings, and again, it's women's fashion. She's bought some men's fashion, but the women in her chat said, "Oh, that looks like a pretty good box." It's like, okay.
Yeah. If there's a
There's
good
a
deal,
lot of smaller sizes though, like
yeah, and the sizes were all over the place. There was nothing that was plus size. It was all like small to like medium sizes. And again, this is stuff that ThreadUp looked at and said we can't sell this. So,
right.
you're getting someone else's trash essentially.
And what I didn't realize was ThreadUp doesn't sell men's clothes. I thought they used to sell men's clothes.
Oh, I thought they did because I
So maybe they did at one point and they decided not to sell it anymore. That's why they have the ThreadUp boxes and the men's clothes.
Yeah, I got 3 pairs of men's jeans in that box. So.
Oh, Bill's saying he did okay with ThreadUp, but not great.
Yeah, you kind of, and all the stuff that's waste, your cost of goods goes up. Like you're not paying $2
Sure,
item anymore because half of it has to be thrown away.
Absolutely.
But,
So do you source like eBay for eBay, and then you do some kind of program that you use, or you just look up certain brands you know are hot, and you try to find certain sizes? And
no, I've looked on Poshmark a little bit for like some bundle deals maybe I could buy from someone, like hoping that maybe they had like a couple like nice items.
Like a lot.
Yeah. I haven't had any luck with that, and it seems to be more of like a time suck than anything.
Okay.
Trying to look for a seller that has multiple items that I'd want to buy, because they can bundle them all and use that one shipping label, which would save them money if it's under £5. So you would think you'd get a better deal on it. But I do a little bit of sourcing from the Real, which is like a high-end consignment website. So it's like ThreadUp, but like designer items.
Oh, I've never heard of that. Okay. Real.
Yeah, it's called the Real. And if you make an account, you get a $25 like promotional credit right away. Okay. So I've used that before.
Do you have like a referral link or something on your
I think there is one in my Instagram on my bio.
Okay.
I think there's a referral link on there, but it gives you $25 and you can use it for anything, and you can also use it to cover shipping. So occasionally I'll find like a nice item on clearance. So if you could find an item for $15, their shipping is $10. So that would be, your $25 coupon. You could get a nice item for, just a couple dollars for the tax. And I've done that for some nice jeans.
Crystal says she sources from there as well.
Okay. Yeah.
She sources a lot from there. She goes, I love the Real.
Yeah.
Okay. Live and learn. So that's all women's fashion?
No, they've got men's stuff too.
Oh, okay.
And I did buy a pair of men's jeans from there before. I think I paid $15. It was a pair of new with tags, men's DL 1961, and I sold them for like $60, $70.
Wow, I didn't realize they were that expensive, new with tags. Okay.
So yeah, keep an eye out.
I find them occasionally in Goodwill.
Oh,
but
really?
you use nothing new with tags. And my Goodwills now, they do the black tag. So you know how they rotate the colors at Goodwill? So they put a black tag, so that's fixed pricing no matter what. You can't get it.
That is so funny you say that. My thrift stores do that too, but it's not a black tag. It's like this pink salmon color tag.
Okay, so you know that's not discountable.
Yeah, they don't rotate that one in their sales at all. That is so funny. Yeah, they do that here too. They have like a special color tag for like nice new with tag items so that it will never go on sale.
Right.
That's hilarious.
So Donatella says she has jean lots occasionally, and they go for about $25 to $30. And she shows you what obviously what you're
Ooh, Donna, I might be interested in some of those. You have to tell me when you do one so I can hop on. I always end up missing her auctions. Like I'll see
between she and T. I mean, they're all over the place, all hours, afternoon, evening, late evening.
Night.
Well, I can't sleep sometimes. I'll go on. It's like, wait a minute, it's like 11:30 and Donatella's doing an auction. It's like,
Yeah. Donna says some of the people call her QV Donna instead of QVC because those are
QVC is
on,
QV Donna.
yeah, so QV Donna because she's on like all night doing her auctions.
Crystal says hers is red tag. We also have a red tag store here where they call the Goodwill Boutique. Yeah, I heard about Goodwill Boutique.
They did that in Washington. They had a boutique store. So what they were doing was a lot of the donations that would come into the regular stores, they'd pull out like the nice items and sell the boutiques.
Yep. Yeah. Or they sell them at their online
store. Yeah.
Again, I'm having a brain freeze. What was the website?
Well, I know Goodwill has an eBay store. That's what I've seen. I think they have their
own. No, they what they do is they pull out like good items out of their retail stores and they ship them to the regional website stores. What is somebody in the chat will probably know. I can't think of it. It's not like goodwill.com. It's like whatever. And they'll pull them out and they'll ship them to the regional store that does lots online. And that's where they sell these things. And then the shipping is usually a little overpriced too. Crystal, did you ever buy from them? Do you recall? I'm having a brain freeze. Let me do a quick search, see if I can pull it up, because I thought somebody in the chat would know it right away.
I know I heard someone online the other day say that they bought what was called like a blue box from Goodwill. Shop goodwill.com.
Well, they'll do like jewelry, like lots of jewelry. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
If they had some good deals on like some
shopgoodwill.com.
Okay.
Shopgoodwill.com.
That might be something to check out. See if they have anything.
Yeah, let me pull that up for you guys and just
we'll take a look. See.
Take a quickie look. Because we're doing okay on time here. It looks like we're just chit chatting, which is fine. Okay, Chrome tab, and there it is. Is that showing yet?
Yeah, shopgoodwill.com.
Is it showing? Okay.
I see it.
Let's see if that shows or not. Did it show the shopgoodwill.com or no? Is that another tab?
I see it.
You see with the colored up here? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just try something here. We spot the field. Yeah, I know. All right, relax, Mr. Shop Goodwill. Okay, so again, these are all auctions.
Oh, they're auctions?
Yeah. I think they do lots as well. Well, look at this. Here's one for you. That's probably a small size. A 31 regular small, right?
No, 31 is pretty good.
Women's BKE Carter. Is Carter a good brand?
Well, BKE says BKE Carter.
Yeah, women's BKE Carter, right?
That's a men's. The Carter fit is a men's.
Oh, well, okay. It's listed as women's. See that? So you know what you're talking about there.
Well, because I've sold the Carter before. That's a men's style.
How about that?
I think
that's small men's waist though, 31. Wow.
Yeah, but the Carter, that fit is men's, I swear.
And I know Lane Bryant, the largest size to sell with 24 is pretty large though, right? 24.
That's a good size though. I sell a lot of 24.
24 short, that's $8. It'll probably whack you like $10, $11 for shipping now.
Yeah. The Real does that too. Their shipping is like $11 for anything.
Women's Silver's jeans, $10. Okay. There's your cut from the cloth.
Do they have any lots?
Yeah, I wonder if I can list it as lots. Let's see. Trying to figure out how I can list it. Let's see if I do if they list it as that women's jeans lots.
Donna says her like Goodwill near her is charging $25 for used jeans.
Wow.
My thrift stores mark up the higher end jeans. So like Miss Me jeans are like $39.99. So even when they do a half off sale, they're still too expensive for me.
They have 1 cent shipping. I wonder what that's all about.
1 cent shipping?
I don't know what that's all about. I'm trying to pull that up, see what that is. Of course, it's not a hot link.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I couldn't find a lot. I'm sure they do have lots. I know they do lots with jewelry, like jewelry bags.
And I heard someone on Facebook say they bought a blue box from them. So
okay,
that must be some type of lot that they.
Okay, guys, I'll put that. I remembered. Let me make myself a note. I'll put that. Again, I just had a brain freeze. I couldn't remember that it was shopgoodwill.com.
Yeah.
So I'll put that in the description below. And I didn't realize that you did do YouTube, Megan. So you do have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's a little YouTube channel, but I've just started. I'm trying to do like one video a week.
Okay.
And I post a lot of I do a live shipping video on Instagram. So a lot of times I'll save that and then I'll just post that to YouTube afterwards in case
Okay.
people want
What
to
is the name of your YouTube channel?
It's just my name, Megan Mawhinney.
Okay. I'll put that in the description after the show.
Yeah. And you know what? There's an old channel under my name that I couldn't delete. So it's the one that has more subscribers. There may be two else that pop up, but
right. Not again. This is just I'm just things pop in my head occasionally. I see Vulture the dumpster diver. I wanted to say hello. And again, it's like I don't know if I should bring this up or not, but for you people that dumpster dive, I don't know if you saw this, Megan. Be very, 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 very careful, especially if you are dumpster diving by yourself. A young woman, I'm not exactly sure what region, was dumpster diving around midnight, and the truck picked up the trash, and she was in the dumpster. They found her remains later.
Oh my God.
Scary, scary.
Wow. Yeah, I've never, when I was a kid, we used to when we drop off trash at the dump, we'd go look around for stuff, but I haven't done that since I was a kid, but.
Well, I told you I have physical issues. I can't do that, but I mean, I well, like treasure hustlers, and most people know who the treasure hustlers are. They go together. The two girls go together. But again, this was like midnight. It was dark, and she didn't park her car near the dumpster. It was around the corner.
Oh.
Her family reported her missing, and they found her car in the service area. And I guess they just figured, well, I guess they questioned the family members, and they guess they told her that she dumpster dived. They basically went to the area where they drop off their garbage, and they found her remains.
That is just
crazy. So guys, again, I didn't know if I should bring that up again, but I mean, I don't know if there's anyone in my chat that dumpster dives, but guys, please be very, very careful.
Yeah, at least take a friend and they can stand outside the dumpster while you're in there.
Exactly.
Wow.
Or at least park your car right next to the dumpster so the trash truck will maybe think, oh, I wonder if somebody's in there.
Yeah, or park in front of the dumpster so the trash truck can't get it, but no, it's
right. Do you know a Alala Castle?
No, I don't think so.
She says, "Hi, Megan. Glad I caught your life." Well, she says life, but I'm assuming
live.
Probably typing on her phone with autocorrect. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, no, I do that all the time, and then I have to go back and edit things because it auto-corrected to something else.
Right. And Michelle just listed your YouTube channel in the chat.
Oh,
thank you, Michelle.
I can never do two things at once. I can't add links and then talk at the same time. So I typically don't type anything when I'm on a live show.
So, okay, yeah. It drives me crazy when I'm on my phone. I'm in, I'm out, I'm whatever, food shopping or whatever. I'm out getting something to eat at a fast food place, and I'm typing on my phone. It's oh, I can't believe I typed that, and I can't figure out how to delete it. I can't find stuff. It's drives me crazy that autocorrect.
Oh, okay. So on Instagram, you're Eva2cc. Okay, yeah, I know your username. All right.
Okay. So you're one of your Instagram followers. Okay.
Yeah, everyone, it's funny. Some people have different names on whether you're on YouTube or Instagram. So
okay.
I can make the correlation.
Okay, so you do know. Okay, great. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Alala. If you find value here, make sure you subscribe. I do a lot of interviews with other resellers here. Okay. I'm trying to think of anything else. We talked about large sizes, and you said the typical women's size of jeans is 16 is the average size right now.
Yeah.
As far as I wouldn't call them bread and butter brands, things that we would find at all our Goodwills, mall brands, store brands. Is there anything that kind of jumps? I mean, again, top of your head, these brands. Is there anything that we might be surprised that sell well, or is it just cuts and sizes? And
I think cut and size is important, but there are some brands that I think always seem to do well. So Torrid, they make plus size women's clothing. Same with William Bryant. Torrid always does well. And they only make stuff in larger sizes, so you're not going to find anything by them in a small size. But Torrid does great, and it's funny because Torrid is a mall brand. Most people have heard of it, but for some reason on the used market, they always sell very fast for me. Lane Bryant is a hit or miss. Their newer styles do a lot better than their older styles. So you have to look for like a newer tag. They have a line called Tighter Tummy Technology. And if
Okay.
you open up the jean, you'll see it has like a mesh tummy control panel built in. And
Okay.
those always do really well.
That's a great tip, guys. Pay attention to that. I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
And even it doesn't even need to be that brand, but a lot of brands have like the built-in mesh tummy control panels and something
What
like
about
that.
like the and again, I'm not even sure what they're called, the maternity jeans. I mean, what is the proper terminology for those?
Maternity jeans.
Okay.
I don't sell a lot of maternity.
That's what I figured. I never picked them up. I figured they wouldn't sell.
Yeah, maternity jeans don't do very well for me. I actually just picked up like 5 pair from the thrift store last week because they were all very similar and they were $2 each. So I figured it'd be easy to list one and then just do a sell similar and change the pictures and a couple keywords.
Okay.
But I typically do not pick up a lot of maternity items. I don't know why they don't sell very well, but for me, they're just hard to sell.
So again, we went into your store and you sell, I'd say probably 90% jeans. Do you pick up like women's tops? I know you say shoes. You pick up women's tops. Do you ever have you tried scrub wear or any of the other sweaters, jackets, any of that stuff? Or
so when I had 2 employees in Washington, I picked up a lot of shirts because the thrift store had an abundance of them, more than the jeans. So I could pick up a couple hundred shirts a week, send them off with the employees, and they'd photograph them, measure, bag.
Okay.
Now that I don't have any employees here, I have not been picking up shirts just because I don't find them fun to list. I don't.
And they're laborious too, as far as listing, taking the pictures and everything.
Yeah. So I do still have hundreds of shirts listed in my store. Those are all older items though from Washington.
Right.
I've only picked up a couple shirts since I've been here. As far as scrubs, I don't do any scrubs.
Okay.
I've never even.
I guess they'd probably be lower average selling price anyway.
I think so. I don't know. It seems like there's not a lot of good brands for scrubs.
Right.
They're all just kind of generic. So unless you find something, I think that has like a fun print, I think they would be harder to sell. But again, I don't sell them, so maybe I'm all wrong.
Right. Now, are you planning on hiring someone in the Texas to help you out, or?
Would like to. I am looking into options for getting more inventory because, as I said, right now I'm only getting like 150 to 175 items a week at the very most. And that amount of inventory is enough for me to do. In order for me to.
So you can list 175 to 200 listings per week.
Yes. Right now I'm doing 25 items a day.
Whoa.
At a minimum. So.
At a minimum.
I'm trying to build my store up. So.
Wow.
I'm working really hard, but I need to find a way to get more inventory, and then I would like to hire someone to take inventory home again to photograph. But right now,
that's the key, right? If they could do the photographs, it would free up so much time for you because you have the templates already, right?
Yeah. So if they photograph them, they would measure, bag, and tag. I'd probably have them
measure, bag, and tag.
Yes, with all the measurements, so it'd all be folded up, lint rolled, to be ready to go. So I'd get it back, and I just have to go online and type in some information, make the listing go live.
Now that comes up in the various reselling groups. What's typically do you pay for something like that?
So previously I was paying between $1 and $1.25 per item. And
okay.
That would be to photograph and then fill out my little information sheet with the measurements.
Well, that's right. I remember you showing that once about your information sheets. Okay.
Yeah, and that's just so I can list the item without.
I don't want you to go run it off, but do you have one of those information sheets handy, or?
I don't have one next to me.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Wants one, shoot me a message on Instagram and I'll send you a picture of it.
Okay.
So yeah, $1 to $1.25 per item to do all that, bag it, tag it, and then they bring them back to me in large batches. But it frees up a lot of time. And at that point, I could list upwards of 100 items in a day when those items are all, measured, bagged, and tagged and folded up.
God bless you, Megan.
That was like the height of my
business. You're like Superwoman.
It's kind of died down. What?
I said you're like Superwoman, 100 minimum, you said.
No, that was a really good day. I think I've only done 100 in a day, like 3 or 4 times. Like I was working really hard. The kids were acting good that day. That's not like an everyday thing.
Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything we may have missed. Do you have any kind of tips or like sourcing tips or I know you said we discussed that before, and again, I should have written it down. I mean, I'll go back and rewatch the replay. Do you have any kind of websites that you use? Do you have Buffalo Exchange by you, by the way?
No, there are some Plato's Closets
There's
and
some
another
Play-Doh.
place
I mean,
called.
again, I don't really know women's fashion, but I haven't had a lot of success with Play-Dohs.
I've gone there once or twice when they've done like a denim sale. They had like a $3 jean sale. But
Okay.
when I went there, they had like a small rack and it was all like um, junk essentially that I think they had accidentally taken in on
They
accident.
purchased it by right. They shouldn't have
A
purchased it.
lot
They
of
were
it had
trying to-
flaws or like a
Right.
stain. I found a couple things, but it's kind of a not worth my time to go to a store and only get like 4 or 5 items.
Right. Yeah, sure. Like when you're sourcing 100 items at a thrift store, yeah, for to pick up 4 or 5 items, your time is more valuable than that.
Well, to drive there, and then if you're bringing a kid with you, you got to get the kid out of the car, get them in, and then when you leave, you got to get the kid back in the car seat. So it's not worth it. I need to be able to go somewhere and get a big, assortment of items, take them all home, and then spend most of my time at home actually working.
Right. Now, are there any other kind of like tips or websites that you use that would be maybe that other people aren't familiar with?
The only website
Or
I
apps maybe that you use on your phone?
I use eBay a lot just for like if I want to look up a comp or a brand real quick.
Right.
Google, obviously, if you've never heard of the brand, you want to see if it's a high end or something junky. But I think for me, the biggest tip is to create some type of streamlined process. I see people waste a lot of time researching and looking up items when what they should really be doing is focusing on, getting that listing actually up. There's no need to spend an hour looking up, trying to find the exact pair of jeans for sale online. If you're not sure of a price, shoot high. Someone can send you an offer if you have offers enabled, obviously. But I think people waste too much time, doing things like researching, and then they spend all day outsourcing trying to find items. If it's $1, just put it in the cart, try it out. If it's not good, you obviously won't pick it up again.
Right, you can redonate. That was the other thing I was going to remind people too, that you offer free shipping on everything. You have free returns as well.
No free returns, but I do 30-day buyer paid returns.
And you have offers on everything.
Yes.
Okay. That was my other question. Free return, no free returns, offers. Oh, and I'm assuming that you do offers to buyers.
Yes. So every morning,
I should say watchers.
Yeah, offers to watchers. Yeah, every morning, that's one of the first things I do is I go on there and I do it in bulk and I just offer like a set percentage discount. Normally,
okay, that would speed the process up, sure.
Yeah, I don't want to go through individually. I will occasionally, if it's like a nice high-end item and I want to offer them like a set price individually, but for everything else, my bread and butter, I just do like 10 to 12% off and I'll send out the offers.
Now, do you have a rule of thumb that you mark things a certain percentage up because you figure you're going to get offers?
Yeah, I price everything really high. If you look at my store, everything is super high. I try to be in like the 75th percentile of eBay. So I'm saying, just say there's 4 items and 2 are priced at 25, one's 75, one's 100. I try to be around that 75 like dollar mark. So 75th percentile. I try to be on the higher end, but not the highest. That leaves me room for negotiating. So if someone wants to make me a smaller offer, I have some wiggle room and I'm not already at like my rock bottom price.
Right.
People want to feel like they're getting a good deal. So
yeah. And again, that's what I like. I've tried to sell things. I always try to price things very competitively, and I rarely did best offers. Now I'm adding best offers. I'm running sales. And like you said, you run sales 3 times a week. You're pulsing your sales, and you found success with that.
Yeah, and I find it very helpful to have the sales end in like 1 to 3 days. You don't want to do a long sale because if someone clicks on it and they see that this sale doesn't end for a month, like there's no incentive to buy.
There's no call to action, right?
Yeah, it's like I can come back in a week and it will still be there. So for
me, we used to call it in sales. You call it like the you lose close. Like if you don't act quickly, you're gonna lose the deal. You're gonna lose the bargain.
Yeah, absolutely. At least that's how I see it. So I try to do 1 to 3 days. So when people click on it, they'll see if it's less than 24 hours for the sale to end, it actually has like a little countdown thing on it. So you got kind of, a little mental thing like, ooh, this sale is ending soon. If I want this item, I need to buy it now.
I know when and I made some notes. I just popped in my head. As far as shoes, do you have any kind of a process? Do you have any? Do you only buy shoes that are kind of like in almost like new condition? I mean, how do you go about sourcing shoes?
Shoes, I'm very particular because it takes time to clean them up. It takes me longer to photograph. And typically, I do have to do a little more research because I'm not super knowledgeable on shoes. So I
Hmm.
try to only pick up shoes that I think will sell for like $35 on the low end. So
Okay.
it needs to be something high end in really good condition. I do like Damsco. Um, Vionic is another good brand. UGG. So just things on the higher scale. Also, they typically need to be shipped in a box, and that's going to cost more. So I can't just stick it in my priority flat rate envelope like all the jeans. So I'm very particular. It needs to be nicer, good condition, a higher end brand for it to be worth my time.
So you pretty much won't buy things that need kind of any other than like a wipe with a cloth or something. You won't pick up other shoes that are
Correct.
that
Unless
need.
it's high end. If it's a high end item, sure, I'll spend some more time on that. But
Okay.
so it kind of depends on like how
Do you
much
have
I.
any tips as far as what you use to recondition your shoes or to?
So actually, I do have a good tip that I learned from a thrift store.
Okay.
Hand sanitizer, so like rubbing alcohol,
Oh, okay.
works pretty good. Now you have to be careful because some patent leather items, it will actually like fade it. So
Okay.
I'll do a little like test on
Test
like a,
area. Okay.
yeah, small area, but a lot of times that will get scuffs off
No kidding. Okay.
shoes. So like just get like a bottle of like unscented hand sanitizer.
Okay.
That works good. I do have a little vial of like this shoe scuff remover oil, and I don't remember who it's by. It's like this little yellow like roller ball.
Okay. So I'm sure if we put shoe scuff remover or whatever at
Yeah,
Google, it will
and
come up
those work
or
good too,
Amazon.
but sometimes they'll fade the item. So you have to be careful. Don't just put it all over and then wipe it down. You need to test it first because every fabric and leather is different and it may mess it up even
Okay.
more.
No, you don't want to. Yeah, obviously, you don't want to ruin the item.
No.
Okay. Guys, pencil erasers work well with scuffs too, as Crystal says. Okay.
Oh, really?
Okay. All right, there you go.
Pencil eraser. Okay,
Crystal's,
I've never heard of
Crystal's
it.
a wealth of knowledge too. I have her on my channel frequently. She's very good.
Hello, nurse with a purse. Thanks for coming in. She's always on my Instagram.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. Okay. So like I said, I try to keep this around an hour. So I just wanted to open up a little bit to questions, guys. I mean, typically I think we've covered a lot of things, but if there are any questions you guys would have, and maybe you Instagram people that are followers of Megan, maybe you have questions that you then have the opportunity to ask Megan once you reach out to her if they have any questions. We'll see if Megan can answer for me at this time. There's like a 30-second delay with StreamYard, so we'll wait about a minute or so to see if the questions start coming in.
I noticed that. Like I'm talking to you on my tablet, and I've got my computer next to me with YouTube streaming, and I'm noticing there's like
Right.
a lag.
And the other thing, it's a mirror image. So if you have something to your right,
Yes.
right to your left.
Yes, I keep doing like I went like this, and I was like, oh, I need to go like this because no one can see my hand on this side. And I'm trying to like scoot over to get centered, but it's backwards.
A couple things in the chat. Crystal wants to know: do you sell on Instagram?
No, I don't. I do know of someone who used to sell like handbags on there, but they had a really big following. And I think that's kind of the key to selling items on social media is you need a big following and you need to use some good hashtags.
Right.
So right now I'm not. Maybe if I got a big following, I would eventually start doing that.
Okay. And then Michelle is asking: is it Rebing's scuff remover, or is that F?
Let me go grab it real quick. While people are in the chat, I'll just go grab it and I'll give
Sure. Okay.
I'll give people a minute to.
And if that's anywhere near your
oh yeah,
cards
I'll grab
too.
one of those too.
Thanks. Okay, guys. So if there are any other questions, Megan will be back very shortly. It's not, I can't even tell with my glasses. It's funny because I just cleaned these glasses. I can't even see. Obviously, I'm getting old. It's time for get a new prescription. I guess it's an F, right? Or is it Fleabings? I guess it is, right? Okay.
Yeah, she's right. It is that brand. Let me get this.
I tell you, she's an expert on everything. Let me highlight you.
See that?
She knows everything. Let me. Okay. There you go. And you got that on eBay or on Amazon?
Yeah, this came from eBay. And the funny thing is, I actually ordered a different brand, but the seller was out. And so they sent me this instead. But it works fine. So, but it's got like a little roller ball. This is kind of dirty because I used it on a pair of black shoes. But it's like a little, it's not a roller ball. It's like a little tuft of like
applicator.
Right. Yeah, like felt. And it's like an oil. And you just like rub it on and then take like a paper towel and wipe it off.
Okay.
But these were like, this was like $12 for one. You know, hand
Oh, okay.
sanitizer
But
was way
it goes a
cheaper.
long way, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't sell a lot of shoes, so I've had that for a while.
Right.
And then I brought my little info card. So this is the one for jeans. I don't know if this is going to be backwards or not for you guys.
No, it's not.
Okay. So I'll just go down this so you guys can see what everything is. The top, this side, everything's backwards. That's the batch number. So I typically photograph in big batches of like 20 to 40 items. So the
Okay.
first item I photograph is number one. And this is so I can keep everything in order. So number one would be the top, if that's the first item. The brand name, I'm trying to get this so it's, can you see it now? The brand name, the style, the size, the leg shape. So like boot cut, straight, flare, crop, whatever. Fabric contents, because most jeans are a cotton polyester and then spandex or elastane blend. I already have those words spelled out. I just have to write down the numerical value for the percentages of the fabric. And then there's some blanks down below if it's something different. I also use these for pants now because they're pretty similar. So if there's something else, maybe there's like acetate or viscose in it, there's blanks for me to write other things. But this is a really kind of quick way to just go in and circle the options and fill in, you know, the necessary information. And then there's the measurements. So I put the inseam, rise, waist, leg opening, and hip on there. The wash, so whether it is a light wash, medium, dark, or others, maybe it's like a color denim, pink or green, I could write that down. Condition notes, I have a couple options that I can circle. So if they're hemmed or if there's pilling or a stain, I can just circle that.
Okay.
Keywords, there's some common things that I like to use. So if it's like a pull-on jean or if there's button flap pockets. And then I put the weight if it's under a pound. If it's over a pound, I'm going to be using a priority flat rate envelope. So I'll skip that. If it's under a pound, it will go first class. So I will put in the weight there.
Notation. Okay.
And then at the very bottom, there's two more blanks. One of the blanks I use on this side. One of the blanks I use to put my inventory number. And then the other blank, I'll write the price of the item if I paid more than $1. Since most of my items cost $1, I'll just leave it blank if that's how much it was. Okay. This gets taped to the outside of the package. I get all those items done. So I photograph my 20. They're sitting in a pile. I go through each one and fill this out, put it in my box, and then I'll sit by the computer with my box and then just go through each of these items and use this to actually list. Okay.
And how do you, as far as your inventory system, do you, I mean, how does that work as far as, do you have bags that you rotate or just?
Well, I've got plastic poly bags that each item goes in, and that is actually gets shipped out to the buyer with the item. So they're all like bagged and tagged in a neat little poly bag.
Okay.
I should go grab that for you too. Let me come back. Let me.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Michelle, you use Google. Is that how you know everything, Michelle? Guys, we'll be wrapping up in a couple of minutes. We had Megan on. I wanted to open it up to some questions. That's a good question, April. I asked her. In fact, I just purchased a mirrorless camera to use for YouTube. I'm considering trying to use it with my listing process too. Okay, go ahead.
I'm back.
You're back.
Okay. So this is a 9x12. I can fit most any pair of jeans in here, even the larger sizes. I fold them in thirds and they fit in here really well. This fits in a flat rate envelope perfectly. So everything gets bagged, and then this this gets taped on the front. Okay. And then an inventory number gets taped on the top. This card is laminated, and I just have a reusable inventory system. I actually have.
Oh, that's how you do it. Okay, great.
Yeah, you've probably seen this before in a YouTube video, but these are laminated and they're reusable. So when I'm ready to list an item, I just pull one out. It gets stuck on here. This number will also go on here in case it gets detached.
Sure, sure.
This number goes in the custom SKU field on eBay. So when
yes, that's what I always do on mine too. Yep.
When the item sells, I just print out my orders awaiting shipment list, and this custom number is on there. So I take this up to my inventory room and I just pull all the items.
Sure.
Everything in those boxes up there is in order in the boxes. So, you know, this is a 141, you know, 142 would be right behind it, and so on. Okay. When I sell it, I pull this off and it goes back in here. These are all available slots.
Gotcha.
For my inventory.
There were a couple questions. April wants to know, do you list from your phone or desktop?
Desktop. I take the pictures with my iPhone and I use iCloud. They automatically transfer to a file on my computer, so they're on there when I go to make the listing.
Okay, so you have a Mac computer?
No, I have Windows.
Oh, and you use iCloud on your computer. Okay.
Yeah, there's a downloadable file that you put on your computer. So when I take a picture on here, it shows up in this file on my computer in like 5 minutes or less. So as I take pictures, they just go into this file automatically. When I'm ready to list on eBay, I just open up the file and there they all in order, starting with number 1.
Yeah, because I tried that and I was having issues, and then I end up using like a USB-C and plugging into my computer to download them.
Oh.
So you said there's a program that you use for iCloud?
It's called iCloud Drive.
Okay, because I have an iPhone, so.
Yeah, you just install it on the computer and you log into your iCloud account. And
right.
You enable it on your phone to automatically transfer your pictures through iCloud, and they just show up in this folder on your computer. It's awesome.
Right. Yeah, Crystal, I have iCloud for Windows, but I didn't realize there was iCloud Drive.
Yeah, iCloud for Windows. Yeah, that's what it's called.
What other questions came up here? There were a couple other. Do you use offer to watchers, and what percentage do you use if you do?
Like 10 to 12.
Time of day do you do it? I think you discussed that earlier. You want to just review that?
Yeah, 10 to 12% off.
Okay. And you just do it in the morning, first thing in the morning, I think you said, right?
Yeah, and if there's a lot by the end of the day, if I see more in there, I'll do it again. But typically in the morning, I'll have between like 20 and 50 offers to send out. If there's a bunch by that night, I'll probably do it again, but normally just once a day. And
you said you do a percentage so that you can do it in bulk unless it's something really expensive.
Yeah.
And then you do an individual one. Okay. Yeah. What else? Crystal says your process is almost the same as hers. I'm not surprised, Crystal, because you're very organized too. Okay. Crystal is in the Las Vegas area. Ooh. So I was hoping to go to an eBay Open, but there's no eBay Open this year to get together.
I know, and this is the first year that I could actually go because we have a family here that could possibly help out with the kids.
Right.
And now they're not doing it. So.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of depressed. I may end up going to Vegas anyway, but probably wait till September, October. So I ran up all these comps. I was trying to get use them towards my room, use them towards meals, and then they don't have eBay Open this year.
Yeah, it's lame. Casey, though, Rockstar Flipper, might be putting together his own meetup though in Florida. So if he does that, I may end up going to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, guys, was that pretty much everything? Because we're a little over an hour here. I don't want to keep Megan. She's got 2 toddlers, and she's got an eBay business to run, and a house to take care of, and a husband to take care of, and she's a multitasker, I'm sure.
Yes.
We'll just check to see if there's any last minute questions, and then we'll wrap this up.
Oh, Sunday Funday says, do you ever have to do an inventory on your items? I don't have one scheduled that I do every couple months. I did do it when we moved here because I need to make sure everything got moved and nothing got lost. It's probably something I should do, but I don't.
You don't do periodically inventory, you'll pull like a box of
No, and it would be easy. You just print out. I could just print out all my eBay inventory, and I could sort it in order by my custom SKU. So I could just go through and do that. But no, I have not done that.
Okay. I do it periodically. I don't do it as often as I should, and I only have a handful of items compared to you.
No excuse.
Yeah, but this is what it is. Okay, guys, it looks like that's it for the questions. Unless there's any last minute questions, and I'm just gonna close the show down, and we'll just we'll do my closing. If you have any last minute, just pop them up in the chat, and we'll get them over to Megan. But want to thank Megan, of course, for joining us, and I appreciate it. And she's dropped a lot of nuggets, a lot of great information.
Well, thank you for having me. I enjoyed coming on your show. I don't think we've ever met up before. I've been on Star's show, I've been on Casey's show, Wade's Venture, but I don't think me and you ever connected before.
No. So we've known each other for quite some time too.
Yeah, it's been a couple years now. Time flies.
Yes.
I always see your stuff when you go to eBay Open. You're always the first person post pictures. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to actually go.
Yeah, like I said, I'll probably go in September, October, and I'll just I'll just cut it a day short because, I like last year I stayed at Friday, which, it's expensive to stay Friday nights.
Yes.
I got there Sunday because, Casey's thing was Monday. I didn't want to get there late on Monday and, rushing to get the Casey's meetup. So Casey does a meetup, and then Katie and Vicky do the meetup at the same location at the Delano. So it was kind of cool. So, hooked up with Casey and Vicky and Katie, and it was fun. And then Katie and Vicky did a live stream from a suite at the Luxor. So,
wow.
I went up and I recorded their live stream on my cell phone.
I don't think I saw that.
And that's on my channel.
I'm missing out on all this stuff.
Yeah, that's on my channel. So you can watch it if you want. And Casey was one of their guests. Casey came up and talked for a little bit. He actually did. I think he gave somebody a lap dance or something, if I remember.
What? You guys are having
they gave a super chat at Casey. I don't know what was going on with Casey, but
oh my goodness, I'm missing all the fun.
So if you missed that, you got to watch that. So again, guys, thank Megan. Thanks everyone. Hey, Joy, thanks for joining us. Want to thank you all for being here. And again, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and click on the notification bell. Appreciate if you guys like the video, obviously, before you leave. And if you have any reseller friends, you can share that as well. So again, I'm live typically every Wednesday at 3 p.m. and I bring on various resellers to discuss reselling. I have someone tentatively scheduled for next Wednesday who's newer to reselling. She sells a Macquarie, which I thought was interesting because not a lot of people sell Macquarie. So I thought I would bring her on and we can discuss what it's like to be a new reseller and talk about Macquarie. So again, want to thank everybody for being here, and we shall see you guys next time.
Thank you. Bye, you guys.